Hey guys, Miss Jen here. Before you think that I put this video on twice on DVD or assigned it twice to you guys, no, I am actually going to go through a couple of things with you that the video did not go over, and also do a guided practice with you. So do not skip this video because we're actually going to do something in addition to it, so just sit tight. First thing, something that we haven't really gone through in class, the kind of terminology that they use in this video, is front-end estimation. And front-end estimation is when you round to the lead digit or the first digit in a number. For the most part, when we have done rounding and we have been rounding to the tens place, the hundreds place, we've given you a specific place to round to. But front-end estimation was rounding to the first digit, no matter what size the number is. So from here on out, when we're rounding to, and we're not giving you what place value to round to, it generally should be front-end estimation, which is rounding to the lead digit. And when we do front-end estimation and round to the lead digit, you're going to underline the first digit in the number, in which case then you would follow all of the rules that we've gone through in previous videos, circling the number to the right and following the rhymes that you have learned either this year or in previous years from previous teachers. 4 or less, let it rest; 5 or more, raise the score. Whichever way you recall it. Now, the whole point of this video and why I wanted you to watch it was because using estimation as a way to check reasonability is very important now and in the future for you. It is something I actually use on a regular basis when I don't want to pull out my phone to use as a calculator, if I just need to work something out really quickly in my head to know if I have enough money or how much it should cost. Then I can estimate in my head and make sure that the numbers are approximate, that I'm within the right ballpark of, do I have enough money to buy this, or are these numbers going to come out about right? And in this case, when you guys are doing it, what I want you guys to look at is, did you do the math correct? Or did you make a big error in your math when you were doing it? Because at this point, sometimes you guys make a misstep in adding or subtracting, and now that we're going to add it in multiplication and dividing, and estimating leaves you a technique of double checking your answers in a really quick manner. It's much easier to add and subtract 400 and 500. Also with our what we just learned about multiplying tens and 20s and multiples of tens and powers of tens. It'll be a really quick way for you to check and see if you are in the ballpark. So this was really important, I think, for you guys to be able to check the reasonability of your answer. Because if you did the math and somehow got something way different than your estimation, then you can go, maybe I need to go back over my answer. Alright, so we're going to do a quick guided practice, and then we'll do some of these on the day that I'm actually checking when this video is due. 4th grade, I crossed it out because we're actually doing this. 4th grade is collecting canned goods for the food pantry. The goal is 1,000 cans. In week 1, 122 cans were collected. In week 2, 315 cans were collected. And in week 3, 450 cans were collected. How many are still needed to reach the goal? So, let's turn this off. So the goal that we are looking for, so we highlight, that's what we're looking for. Our goal is 1,000 cans. So, we are looking for that kind of important information in here. So we highlight 122 cans, we highlight 315 cans, and we highlight 450 cans. So we're still looking for how many is left. So the goal is 1,000. We've collected 122 in week 1, 315 in week 2, and 450 in week 3. All right, so let's pull up the drawing again and work this out. So we're looking for how many more do they still need to collect? How many more? How much more? How many more? Ugh, I write terribly on this. More means a subtraction problem. But the first thing we're going to have to do is add these together. Okay, so these are all lined up pretty nicely, so I'm just going to write a line under here. 5 plus 2, so we always start with the ones place, that gives us 7. 2 plus 1, that is 3 plus 5, that gives us 8. Okay, and then 1 plus 3, we can do our touch math, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then another 4, that's 8 as well. So we have 887 that we have collected in all. And then we're going to do our subtraction. So we're going to do 1,000 minus 887. You can tell my handwriting on paper is a lot nicer than this. Alright, this is a pretty tough subtraction problem. We have a lot of borrowing to do. And what I've always told you guys is make sure that you go step by step in your borrowing before you begin. Make sure you do that so you do not lose track and make a mistake there. So we can't borrow here, we can't borrow here, so we have to go all the way to this one to borrow. Let me try a different color real quick. Alright, so we're going to cross that out. That becomes a 0, and this becomes a 10. Now we can borrow for this 0. This we cross out, that becomes a 9, and this becomes a 10. And then we need to borrow for this. We cross that out. This becomes a 9, and this becomes a 10. Okay, so 10 minus 7, that is 3, because 7 plus 3 makes 10. 9 minus 8, that is 1. And then 9 minus 8 again, that is 1. So the answer we have, because they need how many more cans do they need, is 113. Don't forget to label cans. Because are we talking about cans? Are we talking about weeks? Are we talking about students? What are we talking about? Make sure you label. All right, now how can we use rounding to check our answer here? Well, if we just take these and we'll pull them over here to round, we're rounding to the lead number here. So our lead numbers here are right here. Circle the boss. Oh, this is so messy. It's driving me crazy. Okay. So 2 is less than 4, so the 1 stays the same. So week 1, they collected about 100 cans. 1 is less than 4, so the 3 stays the same. So week 2, approximately 300 cans. And then 5 or more raise the score, so this 4 is going to become a 5. So that goes up. Now, a common mistake here for these two would be that thinking that this 1 goes all the way down to a 0. No. If we either stay the same or we go up. We do not drop down lower than these numbers. So this either stays at a 1 and a 3 or it goes up to a 2 or 4. These do not ever drop below their numbers. So this 3 would never become a 2. This 4 never becomes a 3. So do not forget that, guys. Alright, so we're going to add on to this. I'm trying to go fast because I know I've already taken too much of your time. 1 plus 3 is 4 plus 5, that is 9. Subtract that from 1,000. A much easier subtraction problem to do. 0 minus 0 is 0. 0 minus 0 is 0. Subtract. Comes 10. 10 minus 9 is 1. So approximately 100 cans left. Those very close numbers. So we know that we have done the correct work here, and our answer is reasonable. And we are always looking for reasonability with our answers. So we will see you, I think that's all I'm making you watch tonight. So I'll see you in the morning, guys.